You've heard me talk about those drives I used to take all the time on the weekend. Today, my wife and I we're doing this. She's going to knit today, and so she went to Joann Fabrics. That is her disconnect, is knitting. And although I rarely disconnect, I'm not today. So driving is how I dive in. And I need to dive in. Last night, I was on the phone till 9 p.m. with finance, with marketing. This morning, I was 2 hours on the phone with operations, and it's Saturday morning. You never get a chance to shut off, ever. Or I should say it's very rare. For you young entrepreneurs out there who are following this channel because you're interested in business and building something meaningful in upward trajectory, it's a bit of a grind. It can be heavy at times, and it's really dangerous to get into a rinse and repeat mode. Rinsing and repeat is complacency. Doing the same thing the same way and expecting different results is a complacent model. And one of the most important things in our culture is continuous improvement. And so we're always challenging ourselves and each other for continuous improvement. It's such an important thing to do. And there was I think it was a Harvard law. I think it was Harvard law. There was a study done that said like the two biggest things that create failure in business is you run out of capital, or you're not measuring and changing, so you're staying the same. That one statement should cause a little bit of tension, right? Like measuring and changing. How often? What does that mean? How do we apply it to the business? How do we apply it to business units? What does measuring and changing actually mean? And what are you measuring against? Are you measuring against data, the market, competitors? And I don't really care what competitors are doing, so I don't pay attention to that. But there's been a lot of measuring and changing this year, and it's so funny because I record vlogs, and I've said like the only thing guaranteed about the perfect plan is it's going to be wrong. And I don't know if my team's listening to these vlogs or not. I think a couple of them are. They got to listen to me, all day, every day. So I doubt they're driving home listening to this. But I say the same thing to them, and they've heard it very recently, as of last night and this morning. Fellas, the only thing that's guaranteed about our plan, the perfect plan, is it's going to be wrong. And it's funny because it slaps you in the face, right? It's like resourcefulness. Anyways, you've heard me talk about the supply chain inefficiencies and supply chain inconsistencies and the fragility of the supply chain in America, that thing we're trying to really rebuild. And so some of that perfect planning was us doing a better job with our supply chain, ordering sooner, giving them better commitments, but it's still wrong because the world does what the world does. The growing season does what it does when it comes to cotton. And so we're trying to organize around these lead indicators that we're not going to be able to manufacture what we need to at the right time. And so there's a lot of internal discussion about, like, specifically this jacket I'm wearing, this Moab jacket, about about pulling that forward as a pre-order versus letting us make the stuff, stock the stuff, and then sell the stuff and ship the stuff. So there's a couple other things we're doing that I talked about in the last video, but we're kind of coming up with like many parallel strategies, and I call these levers. I guess you could say not necessarily growth levers, but more of like insurance levers. When you have these tools like jiu-jitsu, I can do this sweep or this sweep, I can do this guard pass or this guard pass, depending on what my opponent's doing. And they push it on me with their hips. Do I need to, like with their feet, do I need to like push my hips forward and pull their leg up, or push it between to start the pass, to create, to close the distance, to close the space? It's the same thing in business. And so we need tools to navigate the game, because it is a game. It's a fun game. It's a risky game. It's high risk. It's really high risk. That's what I love about it. I freaking love it. It's like when I go on these drives by myself, it's just changing. I got to change my environment. I got to look at something different. Of course, it's fall in May, and the trees are starting to change, so that's really nice. But I'm playing through my head the game. If we do this, then this. If we do that, then that. If we do this thing, how does it affect this thing 4 weeks from now? How does it affect our holiday season, our Black Friday, our Christmas season? But what if we did this? What if we did this in the background and we revealed it at this time to create excitement and engagement and ultimately throughput? But what if we did that? Does it cannibalize from this thing? Does it hurt? Does it hurt the consumer if we do that? Like, does it feel inauthentic? And so every time we start strategizing, we all go back to the brand book. We all go back to the guardrails that we have to stay within. And it keeps us really, really honest. It keeps the team honest. But it's hard, it's arduous. And so we're working through these things real time as the economy changes, as the news cycles change, as the consumer either hunkers down in conservation mode, conserving resources, because consumers will conserve resources also. And at the same time, we have to look forward for the next 36 months. And we've got a plan, and we've got to get, financials ready for bankers and gosh, I wish I could share some other things. I just can't. There's some stuff that I'm sure would really engage you in open conversation. At some point, I'll be able to share those things. I just can't right now. It's not that I won't. It just can't. But there's so much going on behind the scenes in the enterprise. Really wonderful stuff, and at the same time really arduous stuff. And so what I did this morning is, after spending last night on the phone, spending hours and hours on the phone this morning, I hit the gym hard. I got a lift, got that chemical release. My wife left. She's like, all right, we're splitting up today. I'm going to do my thing, you do your thing. And we have such an incredible relationship when it comes to that. It's something that is rare and only comes with time and respect and trust and wisdom, where she just knows, like, hey, I'm going to go do my thing, you go do your thing, and we'll reconvene at 8 o'clock tonight, is what she said. And she's cute. She's funny. She's like, "But I miss you." I wanted to pick apples. I was like, "Well, we can go pick apples today." It's freaking apple picking season. She's funny. But it's important. Like she has to shut off. Like in her DNA, she's just not built the same way. She's an operator. She works in the black and white, and she doesn't work in the gray well. And so when it comes to this type of like deep thoughtful strategy and creativity, she's just like, you get it done, I trust you. So anyways, that's where I'm at today. That's where my head is today on this Saturday. Thinking through those insurance levers to make sure that we hit or exceed what we set in motion for this year. I don't want any excuses to not win. I fucking hate excuses to not win and not do what you set out to do. And so the team is aware of this. And at the same time, there are so many external forces that you just will never anticipate. You can only control what you can control. And you can only control the way you respond to things you can't control. It's such a simple statement. I said this to my team the other day. Guys, you can only control what you can control, and you can control the way you respond to things you can't control. Like you can respond to it, and mindset is everything. Having those emotional calluses when you brush up against something rough, tough, sharp, piercing, the calluses are what keep you safe. Like the learnings, the wisdom is what keeps you safe. As you progress in business, you almost feel like you can predict the future. It's being in tune with everything, the market dynamics, and it's like being a conductor of a symphony and knowing when things need to come in and what the beat is and if an instrument is tuned or not, and keeping tension on the strings so the music will play. Like it's constant, and it's wonderful, and it's so fucking challenging at the same time. Anyways, I'm gonna go stuff my face with some Thai food, some sushi, get some protein, and think. Thinking is as important, if not more important, than action. The speed between the thinking and the action is the magic. The faster you can go, the more you can get done. But it's what happens up here first, and then the manifestation of that at the right time, at the right speed. And if you go slow, you get eaten. If you go too fast, you run out of energy, you run out of fuel, you run out of steam. And that could be speed to market, That could be speed from idea to execution, speed to market on product, speed to adjust and make changes on the factory level, speed to make changes in your team. All those things are really important. And at the same time, you got to be careful of not making your mind a silo, because that's really dangerous. Business is so much about jiu-jitsu. It's so much about the gentle art is what jiu-jitsu stands for. It's so much about balance and conservation of energy. Anywho, I'm looking forward to H2. I'm looking forward to going and winning this next quarter and just crushing it. And I'm going to take you along for the journey, whether you like it or not. I'd be really interested in why you're listening I know why you're listening. I'd be really interested in where you came from, how you found this channel. Was it through Instagram? Was it through an email? Or did you find us organically through YouTube? I really am interested in that, because we need some tactics on growing the channel. This is like my side hustle, this channel. My team at Origin doesn't work on this. I have a side team doing it that aren't involved with Origin, helping. And so yeah, would just love to know how you got here and some ideas on growing it and proliferating it, and where you think we should show up with a channel to gain more people like you, so we can grow this thing and proliferate the message of what we're doing. Anyways, I'll catch you all on the flip side.